Florian "Venom" Kohler, not just a trick shot artist, a global creator who changed the way the world sees pool. Millions of views, countless impossible shots, a cue, a camera, and a vision that pushed the game beyond the table. One of the most influential figures in modern billiards.
Today's show is brought to you by our sponsors. I am so happy to announce Jay Flowers and jflowerscues.com are the title sponsor of this show. They're the fastest growing brand on the market in the last 3 years, and there's a reason for that. They're the highest quality for the money, and you can definitely take that to the bank. Quick story. Once I signed a deal with them, which I did, I've got a 3-year deal, and we'll get into that. Once I signed a deal with them, multiple people were messaging me, asking me how they can get a J Flowers Q and if I have a discount code. And I do have a code. It's Freezer if you go to jflowerscues.com. But anyway, so I messaged the owner pair, who are great people, the owner and the people that run the company, unbelievable people, stand behind what they say, what they do, and what they build. And I said, hey, do you think I could get some discounts to the code for some of these clients that want to buy Qs? And he said, man, these things are priced so correctly that we don't really have any room to do that. And he's being sincere about that. After extensive R&D in manufacturing, it's been proven time and time again, and there's videos online about this, that it's the lowest deflection on the market, period. There is nothing that's got less deflection than the J Flowers Q. So getting to that, Carl Boys and I shot a video about a year ago at a big event, and I didn't have my Q, so I used his. He's sponsored by J Flowers. I absolutely love this Q. I do not play with carbon. I've got a little too much power. It's hard for me to control the cue ball in tight areas. So when I'm drawing it, I would always overdraw the ball or underdraw the ball. So I reached out to Flowers and I talked to them in depth about what I liked and what I wanted. And they offered me a deal. So grateful for it. They shipped me a JF 2020. That's the model Q I use. The key to this is the SMO shaft. So the SMO shaft is carbon on the inside and then maple on the outside. So it's wood and carbon. I found right away that I was within my power range. I could draw the cue ball exactly where I wanted to be. The feel still felt like wood, but it had a little bit more power to the carbon aspect of it and a little less deflection than just wood. Do me a favor, guys. Go support jflowerscues.com. At least take a look at the pricing and their selection. It's incredible. The brake cue, okay, it's got a rubber grip. It's unbelievable, this brake cue. It hits so clean. Breaks the balls very, very pure. The jump cue, Jason Shaw, representative of J Flowers, in my opinion, top 3 jump guys on the tour. You've got to check the jump cue out as well. It's also got the rubber grip. And everything comes with extensions. If you'd like it, my cue has a carbon fiber extension. Check them out, guys. jflowerscues.com. And if you order something, tell them the Freezer sent you and use code FREEZER.
Hey everybody, Bobby Hilton here from the Boom and Freezer Show. We got a super guest for you today, Florian Venom Kohler from Las Vegas. He's got 1 billion hits. That's right, billion with a B on all the social platforms. Everybody knows him. He's probably the biggest name in billiards. He is none other than Florian Venom Kohler, and he is here today. How you doing, Venom?
I'm doing good. Good to be here.
Florian, you're the man. You're the man. Known you a long time. I have been working on my trick shot game. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but I'm going to make my way to Vegas, and we're going to have a duel.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. I've been waiting for you actually for a long time.
I bet you have. All right.
For those of you who don't know, you guys are a little an hour apart. Well, not an hour apart, a state apart. You probably can drive over there, Scott, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to drive up. We used to hang out quite a bit when I first met Florian, was back in the bonus ball days, and a lot of people don't realize what that was, and Florian was around, and I mean, we're talking full production, pressure packed venue. The system was right, the game was wrong, unfortunately, but we spent a lot of time around each other back then and got to know each other quite well.
Oh, it was amazing too. You're able to hang out with all those guys. I mean, it was really cool, and the level of play was pretty stellar. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a great venue. It was a great thing. Like I say, just probably the wrong game, but other than that, production was top notch, and I believe we linked up because of Nathan, who produced my DVDs as well. The guy's a genius and poured his heart out on this, and unfortunately, just kind of wrong game and a bit of management issues. But that was very promising, and I think as far as the level of play, it was pretty amazing to see all those guys together. So.
Yeah, big shout out to Nathan DeMolin,
Mhm.
still a friend of mine, and I've got one of his microphones because I did a bit for him not too long ago. Well, probably time flies, probably 6-8 months ago. But Nathan, he was a big part in getting you off the ground via social media, right?
Yeah, Nathan was the first guy that believed in me actually. So I don't know how Nathan did this. I mean, he was always planning. It was his master plan anyway. And we were really in the middle of nowhere in Quebec. He was to the point where I didn't even understand. I'm French and I didn't understand their French. It was that bad. So I remember ordering Subway with broken English in English because the guy couldn't understand my French. So that's how country it was. And then, but anyway, we record this, which my opinion was back then the best trick shot video that was ever made. And then we expect to sell DVDs because that's what people did before. But the internet decided otherwise, and after I think maybe 1 week, the thing got ripped off, put online, and 100 million people saw it for free. That's the story.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great story. And, I'm going to share my quick story real quick. So I'm on a pool hall for 30 years now. And my nephew, Robert, was a great player, 700 plus Fargo, great amateur. And he shows me that probably that video or the other videos you're making. And this was before AI. I'm like, that's not real. I'm sure. I'm like, they can't do that on a pool table. I seen it before. And you must get that a lot, right? Like, how do you do those shots?
Actually, before it wasn't that bad because people realized that in order to make this fake, you needed like Hollywood budget level. I'm a little more afraid now is the AI stuff. I mean, a matter of fact, there's a couple guys that I know online are doing it, and I hate this. I mean, I hate to see this because it's going to kill us pretty much. So, but
That's what I was wondering. I was
different
going to bring
topic.
that up.
There's a couple guys, and I'm not one to call them out, but I've emailed a few people. I mean, I've messaged a few top guys. They commented there, like, "Oh my God, it's great." And I'm like, "Dude, you realize this is fake, right? That's clearly fake."
So Florian, like, you're an honest guy. I mean, we have always really gotten along. Why, in my opinion, like this is what kind of needs to happen, though. I feel like there's nothing wrong with if you do it in the right way to call them out because all it does is detract from all the work you've done, and that would bother me personally.
Yeah, it's a fine line every time. I try to stay under the radar as much as possible. I don't like to
Yeah.
expose myself because I love the game. I really do. I love what I'm doing. And to be quite honest, I'm so busy that I don't have time to deal with the BS that comes with it. You know how it is online. I mean, it's a lot of barking, a lot of, there's no filter there, and they'll do whatever they can to really make your life miserable. And I feel like unless you actually have proof, like for real, you really can't do it. And it's just it's a little tricky because then it's he said, she said, and whatever. And like I say, I'm so busy. But yeah, I definitely will let the guys know, the pros at least, so they know that hey, something is obviously not right here. And here we go.
Do you manage yourself, Florian, or do you have somebody like a representative that does a lot of stuff for you as far as your socials and stuff?
No, I still do most of it. For a minute there, I had a company that was doing it, and they're just doing kind of a bad job, and it wasn't me entirely taking content stuff here and there, and it was just kind of the wild, wild west, reposting
Yeah.
stuff. And now I'm a little more control freak on this now. And, especially when you're on monetize and stuff, you got to be really careful because, I mean, all it takes is one music or whatever, and boom, you're done. So when you try to make a living out of this, it's a little different. So it's I mean, we could talk to the whole process, but I've been in the social media game for so long that I've cycled through really a bunch of times. So
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
You
want
have
to
been in a long time.
Yeah, I want to touch on this. You're worldwide, right? And we talked to a lot of pros, Gap and FSR and everybody. Their travel schedule's one. I think yours is to the next level. I was talking to Cliff DeBay from Pro Fitman Billiards, who does, I believe, your
yep,
tables, and
yep.
he was saying that your schedule, you're literally. Tell us about it. You're all over the world, right? Everywhere.
Well, I could tell you how many flights I
Well,
took
so
this
am
year.
I. So am I.
Hold on, let's see who's got the most. I took
Well,
105
you
flights
probably
this
got
year.
me. How many?
105.
Oh no. See, my problem is my flights, I go somewhere and I'm in different countries. We just go from different spot to different spot forever. Like, so you got me beat there.
Yeah, it's a different thing, you know. But at the end of the day, I will say I would pick my thing over, you know, being the pros that those guys are all day, because they go there, they might lose money. I go
Yes.
there, it might not be that much, but I'll make money. So I never have a non-profitable trip, and I think it's a big difference, and it makes a ton of difference in confidence the way you can build a life. And I'm always very you know, impressed by some of those guys, the commitment they do, and you know, it's tough. I mean, and the level has never been so high. So you know, I go there, I get to do a show, I get to have fun, I impress people, go home, make money. I mean, that's how good is that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I don't even, because I'm actually kind of in your shoes now. I do really
Hmm.
well. I have deals, but I get to fly places now and there's no pressure on me in that sense where I have to perform on a pool table. But I was also on the other side of that. And I and this is no disrespect. I think you understand what I'm about to say, but I don't even think you can compare the two. I think they're just completely
Hmm.
different animals, right? Yours is literally a structured business, right?
Correct.
105
Yeah.
105 flights is truly insane. Like that's not even close to. I think the elite players might be flying 30 times maybe a year. 105. So yours is more of a structured business where these guys are still athletes trying to achieve the ultimate goal within their sport. And I think both are fantastic in their own right. Yours just makes a little bit more money and a lot less pressure, and to be honest, it looks a little better too. It looks a little bit better.
I mean, you know, I will say the secret was always to treat this like as a business. You know, in the past, you've seen
Yeah.
some of those guys. You know, they become good at trick shot, then that they think they're the best pool player in the world as well. Advertise themselves as is. It's kind of this headbutting thing. I never did. You know, I was like, hey, trick
No.
shot's a different game. It's a different thing. Now I push the extreme of the sport to a level that, in my opinion, many of you guys can't do what I'm doing. But at the same time, I never said I can do what you guys are doing, right? And I think that mutual respect kind of worked in my favor. And the secret really was to treat it like a business, like Scott said. It was always a business. It was never just a fun thing, right? I never took a trip for fun or whatever. Now, you know, what people don't realize also is I did do the competition part. I mean, we had ESPN. I won ESPN Trick Shot Magic in the past. I'm current world champion this year and last year. So we still have tournaments and they pay jack shit. I mean, that's the, you know, honest to God, it's really what it is. So I will have a couple trips a year like this, but even on those, I will try to find a show or something, make a tour. I will never go to like lose money. If I can't make money on a trip, I won't even go world championship or not.
Yeah, you're looking to double dip, right? You're going to go to
Always.
an event and then absolutely. I try to do the same thing when I'm teaching and go to do some commentary, and I think that's the smartest thing to do.
Well, and it
But
takes some
Bob,
pressure off of you as well, right?
absolutely. Yeah, and you're maximizing your income that way, which I think is automatically exactly what you're supposed to do. But
Yeah.
Bobby said it. I got to say it. Like, dude, you are, and that's the difference. And listen, I'm not gonna. Mike Massey's a good friend of mine. Mike Massey's
Like
great
Mass is a
guy,
legend. It's the man.
a
Yeah.
legend, a legend, great pool player, great
Hmm.
trick shot artist. But there's a difference between a guy such as yourself that's grown up just doing trick shots, literally focusing your whole life on trick shots, versus any of these other guys, in my opinion. And I can recognize that just from a pool player standpoint, from matching up and being able to recognize talent, it's pretty easy to see that your entire passion and desire and drive has been directly to trick shots.
I mean, it was just the natural evolution of the sport, in my opinion. You know, it's just the same thing that happened to BMX, you know, like back in the 90s or 80s, whatever it was, right? It was just like simple stuff, then on the ground, then some dude decided to do a backflip, right? And next thing you know, they do a double backflip. And next thing you know, it's a triple backflip. I mean, of course, the guy that does a triple backflip can run, you know, can race a bike as well, but he's never going to win the Tour de France. And let's face it, it's almost so different sport wise that it's not the same thing, right? And it's sort of exactly what I did. And I keep telling to people, I was like, you know, I'm the advertisement part. I mean, you know, I bring the people to the pool room, and then the rest is up to you guys. I'll bring the kids that might be their first experience or their first exposure to the sport, and that's all I'm here for, not nothing else really. So I think that's why, you know, I go along with pretty much everybody in the industry, because we have that mutual respect, and I think it just works out.
Love it.
Did you have any idols like in the trick shot industry? Obviously, Scott, and you talked about Mike Massey, obviously, probably one of the you know, all-time greats. A good friend of mine, Bruce Bartlett, also does some really good trick shots. Been on ESPN a couple times. Were those some of your idols? Did you have some idols doing trick shots, or you were just all on your own from videos?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Mike was the first professional that I know that believed in me, really. It was Mike, and weirdly enough, Torsten Homan saw it as well. It was quite interesting. But Mike went to the extent of when the first time I got invited to ESPN, I had no clue what I was walking into. I mean, zero. You know, I barely speak English anyway. I mean, those guys were there. They you needed a license in English to understand the way the shots were described. I had no clue, right? But Mike did. I paid Mike's flight, and he went and helped me out for like a week to guide me in the process. I think I finished third that first year I played in, which was pretty strong. And so for forever, we'll be grateful to Mike. And then as far as idol goes, I mean, the Semi Segner videos were really what drove me. I mean, I don't know if you
Yeah.
Nice,
remember those,
nice.
but that
Oh
was
yeah.
groundbreaking. And I saw this, and if we go back a little bit to why, I didn't know how to play pool. Remember that, right? So I had no idea the limits. If you teach a kid right now, you tell them this is what it is, this is your limits. That's what they're gonna know. I had no idea what the limit in a draw or follow was. I didn't know that carom table were so different than pool tables. So I saw this on the carom table. I'm like, I'm gonna do it on a pool table. And then here I go. I destroyed that table, the poor pool table, whatever, And but that's really the secret. I mean, really, it's because I grew up without the limits that are imposed on people if they actually have a teacher or something like that.
Well, I'll say something here too, and I was just thinking about this. I've seen a bunch of your shows, like in Vegas and this and that. Something else that goes along with it. You're making this money. That's great, but you are holding an immense amount of pressure when you do
Mhm.
these trick shows, right? Because when you edit these films, and we understand that, right? This is a real world. When you edit your trick shot films, they're unbelievable. It looks like you can do this every single shot. It's so much trial and error that I remember one specific time where you were I think we were at the Riviera, maybe not the Riviera, maybe it was the Rio, but whatever it was, it took you 3 or 4 takes to do it. But on the second take, I just kind of had that feeling you weren't going to do it, and I could just try and picture myself in your position. I'm sure you handle it differently because you're so used to it, but you've got this huge crowd around you, and you don't do it on the second take, and now I guess this tension starts to build, but people can't expect you to execute these shots every single time because what you're trying is above and beyond the norm. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if we talk about structuring the show, so Mike Massey was pretty much the first one that had, let's say like this, the balls to do hard shots in there, right? Before Mike, it was only simple setup shots and here and
Yeah.
there. Mike was the first one to actually, he had the courage to do some stuff, right? So I grew up with this already. Then I saw Tom Rossman, Dr. Q, and Tom was doing only easy shots, but he could miss 10 in a row. People were laughing, and it was still success. I'm like, this guy's a genius, I mean, you don't have the pressure to make every shot. So you go. So I kind of combine Mike style, Tom style, Sammy Segner style. So in a way, it's a very entertainment thing. So you got the entertainment factor because in case like what Scott said, and it happens, you'll miss 5, 10 times in a row. If you still keep the crowd, you are good. The problem is, before nobody was going for like a 5, 10 try shots because they're just too ridiculous. And but now I do actually, not only because I'm fast, but also because I'm adjusting much better. And I've always said, to this day, there's many kids can do what I do. I mean, many players, you can train them to exactly what I do. I guarantee you that. However, during a show, to be able to entertain it, adjust on the fly to the conditions, yeah, it's not so easy. And you'll never see me, spray silicone on the ball or nothing like that. It's just straight up with it, equipment as it is. So I think that's just kind of the key. And the pressure is real. It's not the same pressure as a tournament necessarily, but in a way it's more and less. It's more pressure because you're by yourself. So if you play bad in a tournament, the other guy's gonna win, and so be it. There's not much else you can do. If you play bad in a show and you got to keep going, oh boy, like it's not so simple. It just happened to me last week. I was in Japan, jet lag like crazy. I land 2 hours later. I got to do a show. I don't feel good at all, man. I'm hungry. I'm tired, and I start missing a couple shots I never miss. I'm like, oh man, here we go. But you got to like just put it away, straightforward, like maybe switch a shot here and there, go back in your groove, and as long as you end on a high note, you're good, and that's just I guess being a professional is.
Yeah, I
That's
guess.
awesome.
Yeah, I guess that. Like I remember when you were at Yale Billiards. I want to say it was 10 years ago, maybe
That was a
in
while back, yeah.
Wallingford with Bruce and those guys. But what you did is you entertained the crowd. You kept
Hmm.
everybody busy and engaged. And I was like, what do I need to do? Do I need to get new cloth? Do I need to do this? Am I going to have to
Oh,
get new
really? Yeah.
cloth? Am I going to have to get new cloth after? You know what I mean? I've seen some of your shots, but you said no. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. And you did. You played on our table. You made some great shots, and so that's what you're saying. You have to adjust and make it happen with what you got and make the crowd happy, right?
Yeah, I mean, and as far as destroying the cloth, I mean, clearly, if I practice at home, I mean, it's a disaster. It depends the shot too.
Yeah.
I mean, some shots call for like a weird angle that you go down, you'll cut the cloth. But obviously during a show, like you have to respect the material, you have to respect the venue. I mean, if I were destroying every cloth, I wouldn't have 100 shows a year. There's just no way around it. So
This break is brought to you by our sponsors. One of the great things working for Matchroom Multisport is that I get to build relationships all over the planet. I never dreamed I'd be in this position, and that's why Matchroom is always first and foremost for me and always will be. So, a couple of weeks ago, two fine gentlemen, Stephen Tucker, Joe Furtado, founders of Hilltop Promotions, gave me a call. You might have already heard about Hilltop Promotions. They're out of South Carolina, and they've built a venue specifically for what they want to do. And here's what they want to do: it's the King of the Hill 9 Ball Series, where it's one on one. Both players are guaranteed very good money. But the key to this is the winner is going to advance. So they're going to get to play the next match with the next challenger. The match they've both been waiting for is the rematch of the 92 US Open, and that's what's going to launch this platform. The 92 US Open is one of the most talked about US Opens in history. It's when Tommy Kennedy defeated Johnny Archer, aka the Scorpion. So in the next few months, the time is going to come where those two are going to meet head to head once again. As I mentioned, the winner will advance. Let's just shoot numbers out there. The winner gets 10,000, the loser is guaranteed 5,000. There's not really going to be any funny business there, and the reason being is that the winner moves on and has another shot at 10,000. All expenses will be paid to the players. They'll be put up in a really beautiful place. And let me tell you, I've already seen a video of the venue. These two gentlemen, Furtado and Tucker, they're very successful and they mean business. This venue is top of the line and it's go time. Hilltop Promotions. Keep your eye out for them. Coming soon.
And I want to talk a little bit about one of our sponsors here, the guy that made this banner right here, the Bowman Freezer. That's Elvis from In the Box. He's been with us since day one on the show. The Shark Stream Yale Billiards, my other business as well. We do business with them. They have these shirts and designs that are second to none. And you can go online at inthebox.com and check them out. They do personal jerseys, jackets, pretty much everything you need. They also sponsor players. And if you use the Bowman Freezer, you're going to get 15% off. That's right. You put your order in today, you can get the Bowman Freezer shirt. You can get your own custom jerseys, whether it's APA or your favorite player, anybody that you want to get. You can just say Bowman Freezer. You're going to get 15% your offer, 15% off your order. And that's Elvis In the Box. So shout out to Elvis. Great job In the Box.
Well, I don't really know where to begin here, but let's just start from the beginning. Classic Billiards in South Florida. I met Dave Bartosiak and Leah about a year and a half ago. And they immediately struck me as people that just don't stop. They don't quit. They don't give up. They just continue to push forward. And the vibe in their pool room is unlike any vibe I've ever seen prior. They want people yelling, screaming, having a good time. Not to mention their food is as good as it gets. They've got the honey barbecue garlic chicken wings, and people order them from all over that area, even if they don't play pool. Something even better is they just opened a 9,300 square foot addition that gave Classic Billiards 16 bar tables and 11 big tables with a special feature. That feature is a new arena called the Aramith Arena. And in my opinion, it's one of the most technologically advanced arenas in the world, with a raised enclosed commentary platform that's directly over the TV arena. I had a little hand, very small hand in designing this, but I was with him when he was FaceTiming or he was FaceTiming me. And this place is fascinating. One last little drop here. They've collaborated with Matchroom, and they are the host of the Premier League pool this year, the PLP. We call it a major because it's such a tough event to win. Last year it was in Bosnia. Mort Neuhausen won that event. This year it's in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to be particular. Classic Billiards. You got to give them a look up. If you're in the area, you better check it out. Leah and Dave Bartosiak give new meaning to new pool rooms. Beer, balls, and wings, baby.
I want to talk a little bit about Tommy Supplies. That's TommySupplies.com. And Tommy Supplies is a tattoo supplying company. They're one of the largest in the world. They're located right here where I'm from in Connecticut, and they are unbelievable. I checked out their factory. I'm friends with the owner, Tommy, and he's doing incredible things, not only for tattoos, but he also is all over the place. He does tattoo conventions and he's on the news. He's really doing big things. He's obviously sponsoring the Boom and Freezer show. So again, shout out to him. Great job. But Tommy's Tattoo Supply has some great products. They have Starbright ink. It's incredible ink. It's one of the most, I guess, best inks out there for tattoos. You got to check it out. That's TommySupplies.com. Get your products from them. TommySupplies.com. Tommy's Tattoos. Thanks for being a sponsor.
Now back to the show. Yeah, I have a question. So, how many trick shots do you think? If you, I don't know if you think about this. How many trick shots do you think you have memorized?
I don't know how many I memorized, but I can tell you how many I invented. It's about 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah, and
Do
it
you
could
write them
be
all down?
brand new.
Do you write
It
them all
could be-
down?
Not quite, but I mean, there's the actual proof on there because I have videos since. So the thing is with me, because I'm
10,000 though. Do you how many do you think you could, like, if you had to sit in a room and you couldn't sleep, you weren't allowed to sleep. You had to sit in
Yeah.
a rubber room
Well,
with a
he
helmet
did.
on.
He did that.
With a
He
helmet
did
on,
that. He
how
broke
many
the
could
Guinness
you
World
hold on,
Records.
hold
He
on,
did
hold
that.
on? How many could you write down that you
Oh.
had, do you think?
in the thousands for sure. But I mean, I was gonna go back. It's like you can go back to my #1 video on YouTube. It's still there. It's absolutely terrible, but you could come back and you can look at it. You could start counting from there, basically, like which one is a new shot. I mean, most of them are gonna be variations of what existed or simple or more, but like, true groundbreaking shot, not so many, but there's always something new, right? There's always something that you got to do. And to this day, I think that's one of my only talents. I guess that's the one thing I
Well,
can't explain. I can't explain
that's a
how
gift,
creative it
probably.
is. Yes,
Yeah, you're
that's
very,
about the only
very
thing.
creative. It's a
Yeah.
gift. Oh, that's not the only thing. You're intelligent. You're a genius. You're the best to
Well,
ever do this.
I wouldn't
You
put it
are.
that, but I mean, I still think,
You
if you
are.
practice hard, everybody could do it. The problem is, can you come up with it? That's a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. Who thinks of bringing a shoe to a pool, a trick shot? Who thinks about he
Well,
puts the shoe in the people's legs and he jumps it into the shoe? I mean,
same
who
thing.
does that?
There's a variation of a Mike Massey shot, right?
Yeah,
Mike
yeah,
Massey
yeah,
has a big diamond boot shot, somebody holding it.
yeah.
And I
Yep.
talked to Mike and I was like, "Hey, Mike, can I borrow this? I have an idea." He's like, "Yeah, go for it. So just tell me it's my idea or whatever." And so then I decided to put it in between people's nuts, and here we go.
Well,
Picked
that's
up
another
great
thing.
thing.
So, what is the wildest trick shot you've done with an outside product?
With an outside product.
Yeah, you understand. You've put stuff on the table. I know you've used the glasses and all the
Yeah.
and some rings and different things. What's the
Multiple
wildest trick
tables.
shot?
I see them do multiple tables.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with an
I'm not
outside
a
product.
biggest fan of like props. Like in a way, I
Yes,
like classy
yes,
stuff, like glasses, of course,
yes.
ladies, models, whatever. That's just like magician would do, right? Something clean and classy. But if you gotta pick a weird one, probably a forklift. I think I jumped over a forklift holding something. Or, I mean, as far as venue goes, though, I went pretty wild. I mean, we put a pool table in the desert at Valley of Fire. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. A table at the helicopter pad in Las Vegas, the Mayweather
Yes.
Club. I mean, we did some weird stuff, man.
That's the beauty of what you do, right? Really, there's no end if you want to get a little silly with it, right?
Yeah, and as long as the budget can fit. I mean, my biggest regret to this day is not to have notched one of those major sponsor. We're talking like Red Bull or GoPro, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking things, really. It was close, man. It was so close. I was as close as it gets.
You
Nice.
think
Good
that
people.
that's not? How do you know? Sorry, Bobby. How do you know that it
Mm.
was that close? You don't think that's so possible?
So I must have been in talk with Red Bull for about 6 months, about 10 years ago, when it was peak high quality videos, high production value, and it went all the way to Austria. We had a meeting with the main guys in Austria, and the end response was, sorry, we don't want to associate us with pool. It's got a bad image, and we think it's too risky. And that was it. Done.
Well, you think it's going to happen at some point with maybe the pros that we have
You
now?
know,
You think
I
it's going a
mean,
different direction?
we're looking at Matchroom, and they're doing a lot of effort. It's looking clean. I think we're looking better every day. So, there's no saying, but it's possible. It might not be me, but I think it's going to happen at some point.
Talking about that, Bobby. Why haven't have you been in discussions at all with Matchroom, like doing like a mid-time show or something between quarterfinals or the semifinals and the finals? Have you talked to them about
Yeah,
that at like U.S. Open?
if you remember, I did a few VIP shows during Moscone a few years when it was in Vegas. But I think it's mostly a matter of budget, I suppose, for
Okay,
events. Just trying to make sure that they pay the player enough, which it honestly makes sense. You got to
sure.
you got to entertain them, and you guys are there. You got some stuff, but yeah, it would be great. I always love to do these things, and I tell you what, I think there's no more pressure for me than doing a show for like a bunch of pros. And yeah, that was one of the hardest show I've ever done. Was that bonus bowl show? It was to be
I
like
know.
five outside people and like 30, 40 pros. I'm like, oh
40
Jesus,
of us. Yeah.
they're all gonna judge me. I was
From
like,
all
Yeah,
over the
every
world
shot.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
it's put the line, you know what I mean? So, there was one of those, and I think one of those was the Darren Appleton when he had his tour. I had one of those as well. I'm like, those are tricky around, but because if you have just everyday stuff, it's easy. You'll get a few balls, and if you miss a few tough shots, whatever, you go back to some easy setup shots. They're not doing that when Scott Frost is watching you.
Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you. I'll tell you what. You get a lot of good whispers from us or from the
I
other
thank
top
you.
guys. I mean, we're always like blown away at the shit you do. I mean, it's just it's fascinating. Truly.
All right. You mentioned magic, right? We were talking a little earlier about a little something. What's going on with your house? Was there a magician or something? And you doing a story
Oh
about your
yeah, yeah.
house.
This
Let's talk about
this
your
this
house.
is my new office here. At the moment I have 4 different business, and trying to run everything together is just out of the house is a bit too much. So I decided it was time to expand, and decided to go in an office. And yeah, just got this new place. It's still pretty bare at the moment, but I realized after the papers, it was apparently David Copperfield in one of these house or something. Probably when they rehearsed some tricks, just a
Can
couple
you
open.
pick up the camera and show us a little bit?
Show how
Just
open it is a little
kind
bit.
of show us how open it
Yeah,
is.
it's
Look at
pretty
this
much like
spot.
this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just have a kind of it's still really just a working process, and then down
it's
there we have
gorgeous.
our
Yeah.
PA office for the league. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I could see David Copperfield doing some big things in there. He makes, buses and stuff disappear. So it makes a lot of sense, something like that, right?
well, I mean, if you think about it, they have to test somewhere stuff, and I guess it does make sense, So
You have a pool table there.
yeah, oh, yeah, just move the diamond there. Yeah, move the 9-footers downstairs. So yeah.
Yeah.
Best table in the world.
What's your favorite table to play on? Trick shots. If
Oh,
you had to
this
pick
oh,
one
trick
table,
shots.
yeah, trick shots. One table to play. I'm going to do a show.
Mm.
I know I'm going to make a bunch of balls. This is the table I want to play on.
So I mean, at the moment, I'm pretty happy because I finally got the sponsors I've ever always wanted. It was Gabriel's. Not many people are familiar with, but the build of the table is amazing. So at the moment, in Europe, we're just used to it. It was the best table. So when I grew up, it was what I wanted. So I finally got one in the house, and I'm really destroying the crap out of it. I'll be honest with you. I mean, the table is getting abused to like no other. Had the wrestling in there before, and then as far as show goes, though, especially in the U.S., I mean, if you can get a diamond, it's always kind of a happy deal because you know what they're gonna play. Sometimes you get another brand, it just it plays weird or this or that. The diamonds, I know how they're gonna play, so adjustments a little easier, and that's the way it is. But I can do any table; it doesn't really bother me too much. I just need a good set of balls, and usually it does the trick. As long as it's got a slate, that's the only thing. So I've done this before. I mean, I go there, do a show, and plywood table. You're like, oh my god, I'm dead.
Yeah,
I seen you do a couple of trick shots of late with no felt at all. You're doing trick shots with just slate.
Yeah, I mean, I
that.
think what happened is that I was trying to change the class probably because sometimes I just give up and I do it myself. I know how to do it, I just don't want to because I don't do a good of a job as Cliff would do, for example. And I think at this point I was probably just bored and I was like, I don't want to do it tonight. So decided to just do without the fail. Then I did one without the rail class, then without the rails. And yeah, I tried all kind of combination. The no rail class is amazing though. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Well, speaking of cloth, how long? Like, if Cliff were to put on, shout out Cliff Dubé, he's one of the best, if not the best in the world at putting cloth on. If he were to put some new cloth on for you tomorrow, and you had to train for a show for a month, how long would it take for you to rip that cloth to pieces?
I don't train for shows anymore. Don't need to.
Okay. How
But
long would
if
it
I
last?
have like a videos to do, like some serious shots, I mean, shit,
Yeah.
could be done in 2 days, honestly. But usually it's about
Wow.
three to 6 months if I, because I'm not home as much either. So, but I mean, I've had taken pictures when I trained for like a world record jump shot or something like that, when it's literally going straight to the cloth, that through the slate, and there's nothing left. I mean, it's ridiculous. You wouldn't believe it. But that's just usually I will do it at the end when I know it's coming, like a week before. I'm like, all right, this is time to just really abuse it, and we should be good.
Nice. I like it. I could talk to this guy all day long, Bobby. I could really. What's the craziest place you've ever done a trick shot? Like, what's the craziest place in the world? Not in America, outside of America. Where's the craziest
I mean,
place
I've,
you've ever
I've
done?
done some really. I mean, I'm sure you did too, but like I've done some really important people. I've done president, like I just did a
Not
billionaire
me.
last weekend. Really?
Yeah, I've
Yeah, I
done
did
some
the
billionaires. Yeah.
president of Malta. And I did the Prince of Dubai. That was probably the craziest one.
Oh, dang.
So picked me up from the airport, whatever, hotel, put you in a Bentley, brings you to their house, like 7 different house, one for each wife, blah blah blah. You go in there to compounds, and then this big room, and they're just like laying on the couch, like, hey, do your thing. It's like, okay, whatever, and do my thing, and that's it, And then after that, it's like if they like you, they give you dinner. So I guess they did like me, so I had dinner, whatever. And then I think it's like 1 a.m. They're like, "Oh, do you want to go see a movie theater? Because I can open it for us." Like, okay, that's fantastic.
Crazy.
I mean, crazy
Crazy.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool to get those experiences, man.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's cool.
Of your traveling, what's your favorite place to go to in the world?
It's hard to say. I mean, I'm actually from Europe, so for me, Europe is not really like the destination I would
Right.
pick. But I love Vegas. I'll be honest with you. I love Vegas. The city just never sleeps. You always got something to do. Food's decent. The airport's great. The weather's amazing. I mean, it's like 70. It was 70 something degrees today. I mean, how can you be mad at that?
Same
That
here.
beats
Yeah.
it'd be shoving snow out of your driveway, man, all day.
It's snow.
Yeah, and I
everywhere.
think it's snowing there, Bobby.
It was. I got ice and snow everywhere for sure.
Yeah, it's been
We
beautiful.
feel
out
for
here.
you, man.
Yeah, we feel
Thanks.
for you.
Thank
I'll
you,
send you a
thank you.
couple pictures tomorrow, Bobby.
Thanks.
Another good thing about you being in Vegas, which I'm luckily bonus ball was one of the times. That's about one of the time I quit gambling. But I don't think you have any leaks like that. You don't gamble in casinos, really, do you? Or if you do, it's like fun, right? You don't have. You're so disciplined. I do not envision you being that guy.
So I did it very, very little. Most people have no clue, actually. When I first moved from France, and that comes back to about being a decent player or not. I was a pretty decent player. I mean, we're
Yes.
talking run-out player, right?
Yes.
And the internet was not what it was yet, right? You know how it is. We're talking almost 20 years ago, right? So you guys were probably already on the thing, but if you're not super famous, the faces were not out. People didn't really know. There wasn't like Fargo or nothing. So I did go around the pool rooms in California a little bit. Not even pool rooms, more like dive bars and stuff. And went around, play people, one hand, two hands, mostly one hand. That's my game. I play decent one hand game. Hustle here and there, and then I got lucky. I signed with APA, and I was able to do shows. And I quickly realized it was dangerous. The one time you get a gun pulled on you, you're like, okay. I mean, to me, that was enough, and I never did again. Really, never did ever since.
Agreed. I actually meant good living in Vegas if you're not a gambler in the casinos. You don't gamble do you gamble in the casinos?
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
think if you
perfect.
gamble in Vegas, you're done for. I mean,
You're
I
done.
just
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You want to touch about those gambling stories? Was there any rough ones? What was the roughest one you had out there? Gambling. Playing one-handed, just kind of
no. I mean, me and it was never rough like Scott was. I mean, I was a few. Do you remember that place is called Best Billiards?
Yeah, of course. That's I
Yeah, there
beat
was a few
JRB out of
like
a
very
180,000.
iffy, like, definitely dodgy crowd, and I was like, this is not the way to be. I mean, I don't know what mafia that guy was in, but I know you were there quite a bit, a few big money matches as well. So
Yeah,
Yes, he
yeah.
did. Yes,
it
he
was
Yeah.
an
did. We talked
interesting
about him.
thing. Hmm.
Yeah, it was an interesting spot. That was an interesting spot. But you were never really listen. I'm more like you are now than I was
Yeah,
then, if that
absolutely.
makes sense. You
Oh,
understand?
absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
think that's perfectly fine, right? But you were never really that guy, and
Mm-mm. It
that's
wasn't for
great.
me, I
No,
wasn't the Barker kind. I mean, there's a
right?
whole thing that has to go with it, right? And
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
just love the
Yes.
game, man. I don't leave for the other stuff. Into these days, I mean, I tell people, it's like, you want to make me happy, just leave me alone, let me practice something good. I
Yeah.
love it. I don't
Yeah.
need to be playing for anything. I don't need to. The videos are a byproduct of everything, but really, at the end of the day, I just love to play. I love to practice and all kind of games too. I mean, at this moment, I'm probably taking a little bit too much of a liking to three cushion, which might trigger some more
Oh,
things, but like I love this game, and I'll
nice.
just practice it by myself, and I don't want to go out anymore. I don't want to wait to play a match against this guy and deal with this and play for this or blah blah blah. It's like I lose my time. I just love to play, and that's it. I'm happy.
I got addicted to three cushion. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh!
We got to
Back
play when you're,
in those best
yeah.
billiard days,
Uh,
and I got addicted to it. It's such a great game.
when you
Probably the
come
best game.
visit me in Vegas, we got to play in my house. Yeah, I have great Gabriel
You
stable,
have one.
perfect, yeah, perfect condition. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Dated
We'll
slaves,
be in
right?
touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeremy loves it too. I mean, usually he comes to Vegas, it's like I have to go play at your house. So
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
All right. Sweet.
What was the biggest stadium or most people or your biggest invite to a show? I know you did morning shows. I don't know if you ever did any late shows. What was your biggest show that you did, and also crowd wise?
I got invited on the Letterman show back then. I did the Steve Harvey stuff in the mornings.
Yep.
But I think the biggest recent one was the America's Got Talent, even though it didn't go the way I wanted to. But that's quite a big crowd in there. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if
Stadium,
I got
right?
bigger than. Well, it's like I don't know how big it is. It's like big theaters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
in Germany I might have had a bigger one of those TV shows. Can't tell you, probably like 5,000 maybe people, maybe more. I don't know. Hard to say. Really, whatever
Yeah.
fits in those big venues, I mean, it's pretty hard to say. Maybe 10. I can't remember.
Well, Letterman. I mean,
Yeah.
Letterman's as big as it gets, as far as in front of people. It's not, but I don't think you could get any bigger exposure than David Letterman back when he was on fire.
No, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Jeez, that's cool. Yeah. I'm jealous, Bobby. I'm in the
Listen.
wrong business, dude. What am I doing?
Hey, you
I
have the
woke
right
I,
mind for it
I
too.
gotta
li-
tell you,
I,
listen to him and listen to you.
no,
Like, you guys are
listen.
the same people now. So watch
I
out, world with Scott.
I
now.
woke up
Watch out.
dodging. I woke up dodging bullets and knives. He woke up in helicopters on David Letterman's show. What in the hell is going on, man?
Getting picked up by the Bentley. Just
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
out.
I mean, it's not all that obviously, right? And it's clearly people didn't realize. I took a gamble too when I moved from France. I moved to the U.S. with nothing. I mean, I must have had like $500 on my accounts, really. Lived with like three roommates in a shitty house, whatever, and it was not all rose petal right away. I'm telling you, it was not easy.
Sure.
Met
Believe
my
it.
wife. I mean, it was, she was working one job, I was working whatever I could here and there. And it's really only, I mean, it's really only after APA that I was able to make sort of a decent living. And it's only very recently that I'm able to really, let's say, leave, the right way. But,
Next
it
level.
was,
Next level.
it took it running it as a business, and that was all it was. But yeah, most people don't realize it took some balls to get it started, because I wasn't the best one back then at all. I wasn't, but I was the most driven one. And there's a lot of guys that never did cross the pond, to do it, and that was the one way to do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
And your hard work's been seen. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, yeah. You just mentioned. Let's talk about Venomette. Let's talk
Hmm.
about Venomette a little bit. What has she done for your career? We've seen her in some of the videos. How involved is she as far as, and for those we don't know, let everybody know who Venomette is.
Yeah, first you got to be able to handle me, which is not easy. I'm pretty nuts, so that's quite a thing. But yeah, no, very supportive the whole way. Not easy to go with someone that believes in dreaming more than actually, like normal stuff. I mean, most people get scared when it's not something that's predictable, right? I mean, you go from, I mean, you know how it was, right? You've dealt with it. Some months you're gonna make 20 grand, some months you're, -5, right? So it's not an
Pool
easy
player. You were a
living.
true pool
Yeah,
player.
in a
Yeah.
way, but not the same. It
Yeah.
was never the same amounts, right? I don't get paid let's say
Yeah.
40 grand a show, like a tournament would do. But sometimes you have 10 shows, sometimes you have none, right? So
Yeah.
really it was not that easy. And the videos, they never made as much money as people would think. Whatever we call the CPM is based on the sport itself or the audience you get. So the cost per click is really not that big. But I was always there, getting a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there, and then after you add it up, do smart moves. I got lucky, invested in crypto quite early, paid my first house using it. So it was, it was a few things, just hard work. And at the moment now, she's essentially taking care of the whole league. We bought the APA about 6 years ago in Las Vegas. We bought a failing league, the 100 team, and we're up to almost 250 right now. And it's just a ton of work. And I mean, so we're just constantly busy, and but very rewarding as well as far as a player goes. But we do a lot for them as well. So and you know how it is. You're good friend with Bruce, right? So it's quite the endeavor.
And I do you have the whole Las Vegas area? You have the whole Nevada
I have the
state, or
entire Clark County. Yeah.
okay? And I heard you were nominated for something, right? For one of
Yeah.
the awards.
Yeah, we didn't win the League Upper of the Year, but I think we would have been second or something like that. But we grew, I think last year about 40 teams, but some guy in Seattle decided to grow 70 teams. So what can you do?
Florian, I apologize. What's your wife's name?
Ayana.
Dude, listen, I gotta say, I got to know her quite well. I'm not big on typically a pool player's woman, or I don't. She's such a good woman, dude. She's
Hmm.
such a good woman. She's so cool. She's down to earth. She's easy to talk to. She just really is truly that's something that really stuck out to me is you two. I never looked at you two as individuals. I looked at you two as
Hmm.
like as one. And she was just cool as hell, dude. A really, really good
And
woman.
honestly, very hard worker. And
I believe it.
it's not easy, especially when you get sort of my friend called me like minor celebrity because I think that's the way you say it, right? Because it's not like Brad Pitt, like, but
Right.
in the field you're pretty famous, whatever. So some people get a little bit of a big head or whatever. We never had this. We just I just live like normal people, hardworking, and that's just the trick, right? So that works. But some days easier than others, like everybody else. But I think we've been together for 14 years now. So yeah.
I love it. Yeah, yeah. I met Erica 5 years before. We've been together 19 years. So, yeah, good for you guys. Good for you. Behind every successful man, they say, is a even better woman. So,
Oh, and absolutely, because if you're gone, let's say, I mean, for me, it's pretty much a third to half the year. If you got nobody at home that does the right thing, it's tricky. Or if they go and spend out your money or whatever, what can you do? You really cannot. And it's a lot of time understated. They put it on us. It's like, oh, you're so talented, blah blah blah, and this and that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot more behind the scene. And if behind the scene is not good, your mental game is no good, and your performance is affected. And I truly believe that it's tournament based or show based is the same, really.
amen. Amen.
This break is brought to you by our sponsors.
I'm gonna take a minute to talk about NM Billiards. NM Billiards is Nick Marino Billiards, and what Nick Marino does, his business is in Connecticut. I believe it's in Berlin or New Britain, his home base. But what this guy does for the pool community, he sells pool tables, he refurbishes them as well, and he also has some cues. But what NM Billiards is, it's a family business. He has his daughter and his son involved in it. But they move tables, they sell tables. So if you're in the East Coast, you want to send him a message. The link is in the bio. That's NM Billiards, and he's one of my good friends, Nick Marino. But what this guy does is he moves tables. If you need something to be done, if you have a table you want to get rid of, or if you have something you're looking for, give him a call, give him a shout out. He'll take care of you. That's NM Billiards. Check out the link.
So, whenever you're in the Phoenix Valley, whenever you're in the Valley of the Sun, it's here in Arizona. You've got to come to Phoenix and check out Metro Sports Bar and Grill. Metro Sports Bar and Grill is your host for sports. You can watch any of your sporting teams on, I think, 40 or 50 flat screen TVs. They've got a section just for sports. But more than that, they've got 8 pristine Blue Label 9-foot diamond tables. That's 8 pristine Blue Label 9-foot diamond tables. And this guy, David Lee, the owner, recovers these tables literally every few months. They play like brand new. If you ever get a chance, you have to stop in, especially to Metro Sports Bar and Grill. Not only that, they have 9, that's right, 9 Blue Label Diamond bar tables, right? And they play absolutely perfect as well. They use only the best in aramith pool balls. This place is your host for wings, beer, your best sporting events, and the best tables in the Phoenix Valley. No questions asked. Do me a favor, head over to Metro Sports Bar and Grill, say hello to David Lee, and use my name. Tell him you stopped in. Maybe he'll buy you a beer. Thanks to Metro Sports Bar and Grill.
Wayne Harriman, the Sandman. Wayne Harriman's been he owned a company a while back, and he sponsored the Boom and Freezer show. He since has retired, and he still is a sponsor of the show. And I want to give a shout out to my man Wayne Harriman. They call him the Sandman. Great player, a huge ambassador to the sport. Always helping out, donating to charities, and anything to do in the pool community that needs help. So I want to give a shout out to my man Wayne Harriman, the Sandman. Thanks for sponsoring the Boom and Freezer show. We really appreciate it. I know Scott does, and I do as well. Thanks a lot, Wayne.
So we all love stories of tragedy to triumph, and this is definitely one of them. Manuel Gonzalez Jr. was tragically injured in Vietnam. He underwent multiple surgeries and ended up losing his right arm and his right leg. He ended up becoming one of the best pool players in the Denver area. And I think that's pretty heroic and inspiring. People would always ask Manuel, how did you do it? How do you do it? And he would simply look at them and say, control the rock. What he means by that is control the cue ball. Do me a favor. Please go to controltherock.com. Check out his story. There's a video on there, and it's pretty touching, pretty heartwarming, this video. His son, Manuel Gonzalez III, is spreading the word. He's become a good friend of mine, and he sent me something pretty special. And you can get this at controltherock.com. And it's the book, Control the Rock. And that's his father right there in a crutch. He was initially right-handed, became one of the best in the Denver area with his left. So if you don't understand that, that's inspiring. I just want to thank them for their support. I want to spread the word. ControlTheRock.com. Thank you guys so much for your support. You can get hats. You can get jerseys. Thank you guys.
I'll talk a little bit about my friend Andy Gow. Andy Gow has been a friend of mine for a long time, and he is an inspiration to me. He's an actual pioneer. He's the one that pushed me to start doing videos and run my shark stream. And now he is a full-fledged sponsor of the Boom and Freezer show. And he is second to none as far when it comes to billiards. He's always supporting everybody as far as streaming, anything that's positive in the billiard community. He's making his name known in the billiard world. That's Andy Gow, and he has a motto. You know what his motto is? It's like, share, and subscribe. So here's to you, Andy. Thanks a lot.
It's the Pacific Northwest. That's right, the Pacific Northwest. It's PNW Pool Thing Stream. Now listen, go to Facebook, PNW Pool Thing. That's what it is on Facebook, all one word. Jesse Johnson is the founder of PNW Pool Thing Stream. It's your home for medium to high stake action in the Pacific Northwest with a touch of woodland mystery. What I mean by that is Sasquatch is the logo, but they're up there in the Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of woods up there. There's a lot of funny things going on, but you should check this stream out. 24/7 stream. This thing rocks and rolls. They've got action nonstop. And from what I understand, it's probably the best stream up there in the Pacific Northwest. Do us a favor. PNW Pool Thing on Facebook, all one word. Subscribe. It's free, and enjoy the show.
I take a minute here to talk about Agape Sober Homes. Now, Agape Sober Homes is something close to my heart, and I'm sure everybody out there can relate that somebody had an issue where it's where they have abused drugs or alcohol and had a hard time dealing with it. What Agape does is they are a nonprofit organization, and they're looking for people that are interested in donating or helping out those in need. What they do is they have an awesome project there where they're trying to get as many homes available to these people that need it, and they do it in a nonprofit fashion. There also is a little thing there where you can actually become an owner and possibly purchasing rooms and houses for these people, for the people that need. So if you're interested in volunteering, donating, check out agape.com. The link is in the bio. Again, addiction is near and dear to everybody. Everybody knows what it's all about. If it's not you or somebody you do know somebody that had it or has that issue or deals with it. So it's a great cause. We're happy they are part of the Boom and Freezer show. So check out their link. If you want to help out, again, they're looking for donations. They also look for volunteers, and they do a lot of cool things. So check out the website. That's Agape Sober Homes. Thank you.
Now, back to the show.
Are you ready for the tough questions, Florian?
Sure.
All right. You gotta pick only one. Your world title trick shots or your best Guinness World Book of Records. Which one is more to your heart? Which one would you rather you're more proud of that you show first? This is my world record. This is my championship.
First world title is something, not many people in the world can call themselves world champion. I think it's this. Guinness World Records a little easier to get, in my opinion.
The world record's easier to get than
the Guinness.
A little bit. It depends which one. There's two I would never do again. I mean,
elaborate.
Last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember. I did the longest pull trick shot marathon.
It was crazy. I was watching it nonstop. I was sleeping, but watching it.
It was brutal. I mean, I'm sure you've had long gambling session, but have you done 2 days without sleeping fully?
I played 76 hours with.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when I was 20. Yeah. 70. Yeah, the guy ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks. He was much older than me. Yeah, it's more than brutal. I think that's why I look the way I do. Mm-hmm. I've had a lot more of those than you have. That's why you look the way you do.
Yeah, anyway. So the only difference is I couldn't sit down, right? Because the whole deal in the Guinness, they had a thing you had to do a 120 shots program from WPA that recognized as trick shot. Otherwise, I could just shoot a straight in ball called a trick shot. Nobody could help me set the balls, and you only get 5 minutes break per hour completed. So essentially, you play 4 hours, you get 20 minutes, so you got time to eat and go to the restroom, and you're done, right? Wow. But nobody could, I couldn't go sit down in between. It's not like somebody was running out for 5 minutes. I was just on my feet the whole time.
For how long?
48 hours.
Wow.
Oh, no. I think that's probably worse than 76 hours.
So one of the biggest mistake I did was I picked a ball return diamond.
Oh, God. And it takes forever for them to come down.
No.
And you've got to bend down.
I got to bend down to get the balls. 24 hours later, I couldn't move anymore. My back was like I was walking like a 70-year-old. And I had to get I sent somebody get a back brace. And I finished this on fumes, like total fumes. It was brutal.
Unbelievable. Those are things you don't think of. And you shot straight that whole time for 48 hours?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So you don't have an opponent. So you don't got 5 or 10 minutes to just.
No. Nope.
You can't just go to the bathroom either?
Nope. You only can after you complete 1 hour, basically, and you get 5 minutes. So you better rush, So it was insane. And no coffee, no Red Bull, nothing, no drug. I'll tell you that.
And I mean, I promise you, I didn't do drugs when I was young. I never could do drugs and play pool. Never did that. Don't worry, I used to party once I got older, but never with pool. But yeah, that's incredibly insane. I can't even imagine that, Bobby, sitting there for 48 hours playing pool straight. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, so that for example, I think was tougher than any world title. And I mean, if somebody's dumb enough to try to beat it, go for it. But I don't think I'll do
it. No shit. Yeah, no doubt.
I was trying to look this up. How many world records, Guinness World Records do you have? I couldn't figure out a number from when I was looking. I know
currently 13.
13.
And then a couple other actual WPA trick shot records, like most points scored and stuff like that, most discipline winners. I have more discipline titles than Mike Massey now and stuff like that. So there's some pretty cool one in there. So altogether, I mean, total world record, probably like 15, 16, something like that.
That's insane. So here's where I'm going to challenge you. And I don't think you're going to know this trick shot, but I just perfected this trick shot in where were we just at? Where were London? I was in London.
London.
I was in your part of the world, and I shot the butterfly live on
Hmm.
Scott Sports. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, the
He
butterfly,
said,
right?
yeah. You probably got 7,300 versions of the butterfly.
I have the double butterfly. That's magnificent. I was the
Oh,
first one. I don't know if you saw it. So you set up the
no,
butterfly on
but I
one
can
end.
imagine it.
On the
Yeah.
second end, you set up the same. You put the cue ball frozen to the 6 ball in the first rack in the first butterfly.
Oh,
For the second one, hit it on the way back, so you can't put any side spin. Makes 12 ball. It's insane. Like it is one of my best creation actually ever. And yeah, you gotta try this one.
where
It's nuts. It's a
where
jump
can I
shot.
find it? Where can I find it?
I'm gonna have to send you the link. It's
Please
sick.
send that link to me.
It's absolutely sick. But on a Mosconi Cup table, good luck. No way.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah,
Different,
yeah.
right?
It got real sketchy. I got
4 inch
lucky.
pocket something. Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
4 inch
brutal.
pockets. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
and the balls throw so much from such distance. So
I mean, you got to
yeah,
remember all those setup shots were made, on 4.5, inch pocket,
of
basically, or even
course.
bigger. So
Yeah, of
a
course.
lot different to set up than this. And then, next thing you know, the condition change. It's humid. The balls throw different, and you
Yeah,
can't make
yeah,
the
yeah,
damn thing. So
Yeah.
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 So one thing, because I know Bobby's on these questions, and I love the questions. I know you don't know this guy. He taught me when I was young. He won the world championship in '79. His name is Don McCoy. And I've never really seen anybody do this on 860 Simonas. But you know what the baseball shot is?
If I had to see the
Okay.
diagram, maybe, but
Hang it. Okay. It's where the ball's on the rail. You shoot the cue ball into that ball. It goes 1, 2, 3 into the cue ball. The cue ball goes 1, 2, 3 back around.
oh, the relay shot. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. You guys call the
Okay,
relay shot.
yeah,
Back
yeah.
in the day, they called it the baseball shot.
Interesting. Yeah,
Very difficult shot,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because the cue ball's got to be spinning on the rail when you send the object ball
Correct.
3 rails
Yeah.
back at it. So he used to make it. Do you remember the old Mally cloth? Are you old enough to know that rubber back cloth? It
No,
was very
no.
slow. Okay, so he used to make it on a 9-footer, probably 1 out of 5, which is amazing.
That's actually impressive, even on new equipment.
Yes, 1 out of 5. Like he was the best I'd ever seen in the world at this shot. I would love to see you shoot that shot for me someday on regular equipment.
Oh, I love
Not
this shot. So it's yeah, I will do it sometimes here and there if like I have a good show. And I
yes,
know I can miss like 10 attempts. I'll probably do it. I'm usually 1 out of
yes.
10 on this one. Now on some table it doesn't work. Like if the table plays long, forget it. I can't get the ball to come back because you're too close to the corner. But if the table is nice and plays short, ooh, you're looking prime in that shots. But yeah, I
What
love
a
it.
shot.
Just straight side spins, beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another thing. I can't stop talking, and I didn't expect this. I didn't think I was going to keep running my mouth, but that's another thing about what you do, though. You have a great stroke. I mean, you
Mhm.
really do. Like
Oh,
I
I
recognize
perfected
that.
it to the next level. I mean, as much as
Yes,
you guys have to aim, I don't really have to aim. So my aiming is whatever. I can get away with whatever. I have sort of a system, but the stroke is my baby. I really worked hard on it, and as you can see, I mean, even in shows, I will bring the best player. We'll let them try stroke shot, and they just won't make it. I mean, it's just, and mine is all speed based. It's not force. It's not on power. It's all speed.
explain what do you mean by speed?
It's the speed of delivery that I perfected to the next level, really, right? So I don't have a great position. My fundamentals are not so good. My bridge is solid. I mean, I'll stay down, but I'm not super low or nothing. But the speed of delivery on the backhand is just what makes it, really.
So, are you saying your speed on the actual? So, this is the takeaway. This is the delivery.
Mhm.
Obviously, are you saying your delivery's faster?
I think so. I believe it's faster than most. I mean, for example, I have the longest draw in the world. It's not power based. I mean, there's many people that are
Right.
strong draw. I mean, but yeah, I think I did on the Chinese 8 ball table too. It was a full. So you put the table, the cube, the 8 ball or whatever in the first diamond next to the corner pocket, cue ball a diamond behind. So it's one full table draw, a second full table coming back, and pass the side again.
That's a
So it's
stroke right there.
basically 9, and then another 5 feet basically, or 6 feet. Yeah,
Snooker cloth,
23 feet.
like
yeah, yep.
wow. Okay,
Not heated either, which is nuts.
you're right. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I
there's
already knew
no,
your stroke's crazy.
there's no explanation, right? I mean, you talk about a
Not
guy like
really.
Mike Massey that, that's pure power, and
Yeah.
there's a few that have like monster. I mean, we're talking power. I mean,
Larry Neville back in the
Larry,
day.
yes, that's what I was looking. I mean, Larry was a monster at it. So,
Yeah.
but this was more force based, right? So, I think it's probably because of Karam that I got the stroke. So,
I love it.
All right. Let's talk a little bit in your head a little bit. All right. You think of us, you're probably in the middle of the night. I got this shot I want to try, right? Or it just comes to you and you're sitting down eating dinner, right? Well, how long does it take you to perfect it? And will you say at some point, I'm not going to do it? Or will you just, how much time will you spend to make sure you can perfect it?
There's no universal rule, sadly. I mean, sometimes, it stems from you have an idea, a mistake, or it stems from a mistake. You miss something like, oh, that makes sense, right? So you get from a fluke a little bit. But I never post fluke. I redo whatever needs to happen, right? Then you have like an idea that could work right away. Maybe sometimes it's like, oh my God, it works in 2 minutes. And then sometimes, 3 hours later, you're still at it, but it's possible. And I think the longest shot I tried, it was probably in my book for 5 years and took about a week to go every day for like 5 hours.
That's
Wow.
strong. That's
Yeah,
intense.
I mean,
so strong.
that's stupidity, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's just not being smart. But I knew it was possible because you get close, right? And sometimes they're just not possible. You don't get close, forget it, right? But sometimes you get close, you're like, but the odds are so low because you got to shoot it well, you got to hit it perfect, and you got to get lucky. I mean, when you got to get lucky, that's the worst part.
You use the word stupidity though, and when I was coming up, I played 10 hours a day for 5 years. I missed 3 days because I was too sick. My mother had a calendar. I got fortunate to graduate high school, and when I hear a young, talented pool player say that he's passionate, that's great, but it's much stronger than any
Hmm.
passion. It's beyond the words of obsession as well.
Yeah,
It's
it's
actually almost mental, right?
we have some sort of disease. I tell you that we're not. I
Yes.
mean, the best ones are not all well in the head. I don't care what
No.
you say.
No.
You don't
No.
get
I,
to the
I agree.
best without being, like it just if you're comfortable, it just never works. That's what I do. I always tell people like as soon as I'm comfortable, I gotta do something to make me uncomfortable. It's just the way I
I
grew
love
all my
that.
life. So, and it could be
Same.
anything.
I'm
I
always
just
in an uncomfortable position.
like
Yes.
it's pool,
I love
the
it.
show, like the show gets too easy. I'm gonna add like a stupid shot so I know I can miss, right?
Yeah.
Financially, it gets too easy. I'm gonna buy something stupid so I have to like work hard for it.
Right. Yeah, I
Schedule
got
it gets too easy. Forget it. I'm gonna do something else. Add an extra business.
I
we
can relate. I
we
love it.
talked about this, Scott, about making
Oh yeah.
yourself uncomfortable, right? You got to
Hmm.
make yourself
Oh yeah. I
uncomfortable.
do it every
Yeah,
day.
that's what I mean. Every day we talk about it. You talk about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm big
I
on it.
think it's key, and I think most of the champion mindset. I mean, it's almost all the same. And I think once you lose that and you get comfortable, that's when it's time to retire, really, in my opinion. So. I still have it, I have the drive. So, and I keep telling people, so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I see a kid that's better than me. But at the moment, I haven't seen it. I thought it would happen, 5 years ago, but it just hasn't happened.
Well, you might
There's
see it with
some,
AI.
yeah, I mean, there's a bunch
That's
of
the
kids, they're
concern, right?
technically really strong, but they haven't come up with new things. So for me, for trick shot, it's not there yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. Speaking of great trick shots and talking about trick shots, what was your how did you come up with the Valley and the Fire? What was that? And was that your like most outlandish trick shot, or just and it can explain to people what that was and how you came up with it?
I mean, it's just so back in the days of so YouTube and social media in general cycled. So it started with, nobody had enough signal or you had to pay for the whatever. So the videos were short, right? Then it became short but high quality. Like Red Bull got out, they did all this kind of fancy stuff. So this is when I first really, so I did the short form videos like before anybody, but it was horizontal, 3 minutes maximum or whatever. Then we realized we need to up the production to keep up with the numbers, right? So we did the DVD number two, we did it fully online, posted, and it was great. I mean, quality was amazing. We did the traveling aspect with Nathan and everything. Now we're like, okay, what's coming up for Venom 3, right? How do we raise the bar? And the bar was simply putting pool table in a non-conventional environment. Is just okay. It's always boring. It's always inside. Pool rooms kind of look the same. It's the same vibe. So let's take the table out of the pool room, right? And that's when we come up with it was the helicopter pad, the Mayweather gym, what I did, the deserts, what I didn't realize is how difficult the environment is going to be on the shot themselves, because now you're, in a pool room, you can spend 2 hours at a stupid shot and you're going to make it in the studio. But if you're outside, you have the light moves, the sun moves, you got people, the wind. I mean, the wind was ridiculous because it would move the ball and stuff. I mean, so it just became so difficult. But, I think as far as, it would have continued had it made money. The problem is it became so expensive to produce that we just couldn't do it anymore. And then after that, it cycled to the vlogs. It was long content but shitty quality. I refused to sell out basically because I liked what I was doing. So I kind of lost a little bit of the footing there. And then recently the shorts came back up, and I went right back to it. And I think I have the biggest number I've ever had now, actually. So.
I noticed you've done a lot of shorts with a friend of mine, Joey Gray.
Wow.
Are you doing that in Vegas?
Yeah, every time there's an
I'm
open
coming up,
invite.
dude.
There's an open invite to every single pros or whoever in the world. Come see me. We'll have fun anyway.
I know I'd have fun with you.
It's a win-win.
Definitely.
It's a win-win.
Yes,
We all have
yes.
fun. I get content. You guys get recognition. I mean, Joey got so much lessons now. I don't know how many he got out of it.
Yeah,
So usually it's pretty happy. But here's the deal: the more we do, the harder the shots become. But I mean, Joey, for example, had no, the flat shot, right? Those whip draw and stuff like
yeah,
that.
of course.
I had no idea how to do those until he met me, and now he loves them. His mass is getting pretty impressive
Oh,
too.
he got good from what I've watched on your
yeah,
shows.
yeah.
He's gotten much better. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been fun. I mean, there's really it's all about it. And then when I realized I could actually share this with you guys, I was like, oh, it's freaking great. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. And I mean, I don't, right now it's hard to believe, but I see some companies posting their numbers on views and stuff. You said 1 billion. It's actually closer to 5 at the moment total.
5 billion total.
Wow.
And I'm averaging 100 million views a month right now.
Wow.
So
that was my next question. I want to talk. Go ahead, Scott. I was going to.
yeah, but Bobby, maybe when you could just redo the intro, right?
No, you don't have to. It's fun. I mean, it's part of the process.
But
It moves so fast.
Yeah, but his intro, he could just, because neither you or I are really on the camera, he could just
My
reset
website's not even updated. That's to tell you.
That's insane. That number 5 billion's insane. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I mean, how do you feel with that number? How does that make you feel as a pool player, as you're on your own level, obviously, as far as trick shots, but how does that make you feel when they said it, when they first said the billion, now 5 billion, and that's all, of course, all your platforms, correct?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and it's not paid advertisement or nothing. Like nothing has been. It's all organic. It's quite interesting because sometimes I'm looking at it and I'm like, shit, this video only got like 100,000 views. I mean, how stupid is that, right? And I'm thinking about it. Okay, imagine lining up 100,000 people. What does it look like, right? Then I'm like, okay, maybe not so bad, but like I posted something yesterday. I'm looking at it today. It's like 2 million views. Yeah, it's not bad, I mean, it's cool. It's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and you're talking about Joey getting lessons. Bobby knows this. I don't talk about it on this platform, and I really don't have to push it much. I do a lot of teaching, and they're coming to me now. But that's my passion now as well. I really feel Jeremy Jones and I have worked together in depth, and now with my commentary and working with seeing all the differences in the top players, and I think that's a big thing for me. I really do, though. Since you're inviting me, I'm serious. We've got to work out our schedules. My schedule is
it's
off
pretty
the charts,
nuts as well,
like yours. But I'm going to make I'm taking you up on it. I want to come up there. I want to learn from you, and because I do some shows with Matchroom as well, but I'll soak anything up I can with you, and just to watch you.
Yeah, and and I've never been greedy as far as the knowledge goes.
I know you haven't.
I'm always happy to like post it. I mean, anyway, I made a living out of posting everything for basically free of charge. You know what I mean? So I think it's only fair, and I pay the game back this way. I'm happy. I mean, if I can leave a legacy like this, it's great. So, but legitimately, I mean, yeah, Joey, we really worked a lot on some of his stuff, and I just learned some technical shot. I think it might help him in the, and for me too. I mean, I pick up some pointers as well. I mean, some of those one pocket shots you guys have and stuff, I don't even know. I mean, you're kind of hoarding them a little bit, hiding, and it's like
they were
like,
trained.
I want to know.
They don't tell secrets. They're trained.
No, I want to know.
I came out with Power 1 Pocket 1 and 2, and we did Lenny Marshall. You knew Lenny, I think.
Yeah, Lenny. You got in trouble with those, right? Actually, because people are mad at you for releasing some of the secrets. I think.
Did, and I didn't care.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they got mad, and Power that kind of changed the game, really. We did well on them. We did well, but my goal was to elevate the game because I knew I wasn't going to be around forever.
I have it actually. I think I either bought it or Lenny gave it to me. I have it. Yeah, I watched this thing because I try to learn from my everything I bought. Those banking books from what's this
From
guy?
Mac and
the banking with the beard.
With the beard, Freddie the Beard.
Yeah. There's all those people. I mean, there's so much knowledge of the game out, and the difference when we started, you had to either pay your dues or earn your way in, or you get nothing, and now everything is online. I mean, it's amazing. You can find everything you want. It's so good.
True story.
How do you juggle your life at home when you're traveling 100 air flights in a year, and
I don't
obviously
have.
running APA, and how do you do that? And does it take a toll on you?
Yeah, I don't have a life, man. I just work really. But I mean, hey, it's a lot easier when your work is your passion, to be honest with you. So, and as much as I like to complain that it's retarded and that, my schedule is insane, if you leave me home for 2 days, I also get nuts. So it's hard to do. It's a very fine line. I know I'm a little bit in overdrive at the moment, because like I said, the league takes me. I think I just did the calendar for 27. I'm already half the weekends are taken already, right? So now I'm gonna book the other half of the weekends for shows, and I have nothing left. So uh, I haven't had a day off since man, what was Thanksgiving? Yeah, that was it.
I'm with you. Believe it or not, this is the
It,
first week and a half I've had. Bobby knows I've got 2 or 3 other businesses. I'm in knee deep in
You've
major
always, yeah,
business.
you've always been in
I'm the
the
same way.
business as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Just the same way, right? Like
it,
what you just said makes a lot of sense. If I sit at home for 2 days, she knows I start driving her crazy.
Hmm.
Like I won't shut up. I'm doing stuff around the house. Like I can't stay busy enough. And it's just not healthy
It,
for me.
it's a little. I mean, the obsessiveness is a little unhealthy in a way, right? I mean, obviously,
we're all
it
the
got
same.
us where we at, but is it really healthy? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to judge, right? It's
Yeah, it is hard to judge.
We're pretty happy though. I mean, I know people that aren't happy. I mean, it's a lot of work. So just for instance, Scott, yesterday, Scott, I didn't respond to him for the first time since we've been doing anything in 2 hours, and he's like, "Are you alive?"
I was freaking out.
we talk every single day, and I'm working every single day. So the one time
Yeah.
I go out and hang out with my buddies or whatever, that's how it is because we work every day, right?
Yeah.
We're living our dream,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're working every day.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
and you open 7 days a week, if I'm correct, right? You have all those leagues running, plus
We
all the
got that.
tournaments. I
Yeah.
mean,
The
you
Shark
get this
Stream, we
on
do the
top of
Boom and
it. So,
Freezer. We're traveling England. We're doing the same stuff that not the pros are doing, but similar.
I mean, in a way, too, you're living your passion. I think it's a very priceless. It's a priceless thing. I mean, there's so many people that are miserable doing a 9 to 5 they hate. So, I mean, how can we
Agree.
Agreed.
complain? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Agreed.
No complaints here. No complaints here.
Thank you, Florian.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Welcome.
It was very, very entertaining.
Before we go, a big thank you to our sponsors who make this show possible: Jay Flowers, Classic Billiards, Tommy's Tattoo Supply, Nick Marino Billiards, Metro Sports Bar, Anytime Billiards, Control the Rock, Agape Sober Homes, Wayne Harriman, Andy Gow, In the Box, PNW Pool Thing, and Hilltop Promotions.